North Africa. We welcome Ms. Kanchana Gupta, Social Entrepreneur, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. We are proud by the live presence of Mr. Vineet Tyagi, Global CPTO, Biz2X, AI and FinTech leader who is joining us live from Bharat Mandapam. We are proud by the presence of Ms. Paramita Mukherjee, Global Head HCL Technologies, US and Europe. We are embedded by the presence of Mr. Arvind Malhotra, Board Advisor, Cloud Control, Gamify. We are immensely proud by the presence of Ms. Gitika Valia, Head IT ONGC. Ladies and gentlemen, the legends are here who are going to talk on the pre-curtain raiser of INBUSH World Summit 2026. The curtain raiser, where our topic today is empowering leadership for building a smarter, safer, sociable, and sustainable tomorrow, integrating human intelligence with AI, next generation AI, and information technology. Good afternoon, distinguished dignitaries, global leaders, academicians, industry, innovators, researchers, faculties, and my dear students. It is my privilege to welcome you to the curtain raising of 26th International Business Horizon INBUSH World Summit 2026, hosted by Amity University. Today's theme, empowering leadership for building a smarter, safer, sociable, and sustainable tomorrow, captures the defining challenge of our era: how we integrate human intelligence with next generation artificial intelligence and information technology to shape a future that is not technologically advanced, but ethically grounded and human-centered. As AI transforms industries, advance, and societies, leaders play a pivotal role in igniting and bridging this gap. I would request all the dignitaries to kindly step forward for lamplighting, a ceremonial custody where we take the blessing to start any show with the blessings of God. Give us wisdom and the human touch, which in the age of technology is paramount.
ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देवै सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा शुक्लां ब्रह्म विचारसार परमाम् आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणा पुस्तकधारिणीमभयदां जाड्यान्
Ladies and gentlemen, to bring this legendary dignitaries on such plethora, it's not easy. It's very important to understand that how technology with human engineering blends together. And I take the privilege to invite a visionary academic leader whose commitment to excellence has positioned Amity University as a global knowledge powerhouse, a leader who believes that education must not be created professionals, but to create responsible citizens the citizens that will build the future for tomorrow. A forward-thinking leader who introduced the concept of new age technology to be blended with management, a management guru, renowned academician, recognized in Stanford University 2025 to the concurring list, top 2% scientist in the world for his contribution to business and management. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm inviting Group Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh, for his welcome address, who is a pioneer who brought AI to management. Over to you, sir.
Some days are really historical. It reminds you your commitment. It reminds you your passion. It reminds you the philosophy of MIT. MIT, which is the brainchild of our founder, Dr. Chauhan, who after spending more than 3 decades in Europe, came back to India with one vision, with one aim, that we should be able to bring the changes into the life of those who matter the most, the students. And that is how MIT was created. Today, MIT has got more than 250,000 students, 12 universities, and we are the only education group of India which has got 12 universities in India and 16 foreign campuses abroad, with a vision to reach to almost everyone in the world who is thirsty of taking knowledge. MIT is trying to make the changes and bring the revolution into the entire world. Dr. Atul Chauhan, the chancellor of this university, who's a product of London School of Economics, along with the very well-knitted team of another chancellor, Dr. Asim Chauhan, our trustees, and very able 12 vice chancellors, more than 30 director generals, very senior deans who are present here, and many of whom are watching you live. We very warmly welcome each one of you. This time, for the first time, in the last 26 years, we are doing a day prior to INBUSH, because the focus is on AI this time. Someone asked me that what is the role of MIT in bringing the technology to the entire world. I'm going to give you a story that how we disrupted this particular feat. One of the speakers was mentioning that today there was a full-page advertisement which came in Times of India showing the kind of initiatives we are going to take in artificial intelligence, online education. Someone was quoting that MIT is contributing quite significantly outside India. Number of TNE models we have been able to implement. But I'm going to give you a story of our founder, Dr. Chauhan, that from where the entire AI, entire disruption in technology started. It was long time back, and I was sharing it with some of the speakers who are with me, and I was talking to them informally. When the president, Dr. Kalam, became the president of India, the first delegation which he took to any country was not Europe, was not America, but was Africa. And in this delegation, he didn't pick up anyone from the business, but he picked up 19 vice chancellors and top academic leaders from India. We got an opportunity to travel and to listen to his visionary views. And I'm narrating what he spoke in that conference. In Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa, he comes up and people clap for him. And he starts speaking and he says, sisters and brothers of Africa, I'm going to give you something as a gift from India and from the entire world, which you are going to remember for centuries. And people again clap for 3 minutes. Presuming that the president is going to now give billions of dollars of financial aid. But his next sentence was, but not a dollar to give. And people thought, what is going to give then? And he talked at that time, the virtual education. He talked about that how the virtual technology can help the world to bring people together. He kept on speaking, he kept on speaking, and kept on deliberating. And by the time he finished his speech, he asked, how many of you feel that we will be able to do that? And I remember the chair of the European Union who was in that session. She said that, President, your views are highly revolutionary. You are a visionary president, but they are not practical. We don't think that Africa is ready. Africa is not having even computers. They don't know the basics of computer. They don't have infrastructure. How will you be able to implement your ideas in Africa? And so were the views of the US representative and UN representative who were sitting. The president, very unusual president, he laughed on the stage and he said, okay. And people thought that the project is finished. Professor Agarwal is here, Ambassador Agarwal is here, and he knows that at that time, Ambassador Gurjeet Singh was the Indian ambassador in Ethiopia. And he hosted that evening a dinner. We all had a dinner and we thought that nothing will come out of it. Next day, 8 in the morning, we reach here. And 2:30, another meeting is called in the Ministry of External Affairs, where the mandate of the president was very clear that we wanted to understand whether this project can be implemented or not. And the meeting was being chaired by the education secretary, and then Dr. Kalam came for a while. And he said that I want a very straight answer from all of you. Will you be able to implement it? Because I think that India has a role to play. And people gave very honest answers. Out of the 19 people, 17 said, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. We will require 1 year to even think about it, about the concept. At that time, our founder, Dr. Chauhan, came forward and he said that if country needs it, if the president of India is saying that this can be implemented in Africa, then we will implement it. And people laughed at that time, that how will you do it? Because the secretary at that time said that if you want to do it, then you will not do it in English, then do it in French language. And people said, yes, they will do it. And we did it. Where TCS and TCIL became the partners of MIT University. And almost every week we used to go to Africa. We implemented this project in 42 African countries. The target of the ministry was 2,000 students. Do you know that how many students got a benefit? 80,000 students, they got this benefit. And that is a reason that MIT now is concentrating more on AI. We want that through the technology disruptions, we should be able to give and deliver to the world, which youngsters, they really mean it. I remember that in 1990s, people were focusing more on the PhD programs. Anyone who was going abroad, they were saying that we'll go for a PhD program. There was 100% aid. People used to go to US, they go to UK, they used to go to Australia for their PhD programs. Then we saw that in early 2000s, people started going for their masters. And then lately for the undergrad programs. Today, when the students, they come in the class, they're asking for that, what is going to be the role of this professor in my life? While the professor is teaching, someone is also on the social media. He is looking at that what you are teaching. Someone is also looking at the data which you are giving. Is it correct data? And they don't want to listen to something which is already available on the YouTube or which is already available. Every day is a challenge in the teaching profession. And so is in the research. I remember that when we were the students, to get the figures, we need to go from one department to another, to the Ministry of Commerce, to the Ministry of Industry, to the various places. Today, DGCAS figures are available on the click of a button. Today, if you want to write an article, you can go to some sites, you can go to ChatGPT, you will find at least the framework under which you can start writing your article. So AI is not only has changed the color of the education, we strongly feel at MIT that it's going to change the color of the universities also. So we are taking a step forward and we are trying to align with the industry. Whatever industry needs, we want to supply them. So we have collaborated with some of the leading companies, and you will find that in INBUSH, more than 300 companies are coming together, all leading brands, and we are deliberating that how the the education of tomorrow will look like and what the youngsters they want us to do. So whatever industry is asking for, we will like to give them through our certifications. And we are also trying to bring down the cost of the education through our online education system. Mr. Ajit Chauhan, who is leading and is the chairman of the MIT Online. He is trying to make the changes into the entire ecosystem under the guidance of our Chancellor. And that's the reason that we thought that this time we will do one full day before INBUSH focusing on technology. When today everyone is talking about AI, very few are able to realize that the youngsters also want to specialize in gaming. So in this conference, we are starting up. We became the partner to 3 leading companies, and we are so proud that Acer came forward. And they not only sponsored, but they supported our research. So one of our research journal is coming through Acer. So give a huge applause to Acer. But we are also speaking to Microsoft. We are speaking to Apple and few other companies. Of course, I spoke to you that we are going to come to HCL also to take your support. But we want to go to some of the leading brands of the world and of India, of course, to understand that how gaming as a specialization and how gaming as a program at MIT can be introduced. Those who are from the industry, you may be knowing that we started in business, the AI program 7 years back when people were not even thinking about AI. We introduced a program called International Business and Artificial Intelligence. International business with data analytics, international business with business intelligence. So these were the programs which we introduced. And today, these are some of the most sorted of program of the world. We are very thankful to all of you for supporting, as they say, that there are very few people in this world who will come to the students and share their views. Thankful to researchers, I have been told that there are more than 1,127 research papers, out of which 80% are related with technology, which are being presented. We are being sponsored by IEEE and the first business school of the country, which has brought IEEE and the business school together. The research conference is also being supported by Springer. There's a special issue of the Scopus Index Journal from Taylor and Francis, which is on the computational intelligence for strategic decisions and management. We are bringing another journal, which is on dependability, sustainability, and business analytics, again by the Springer. We are the largest partner of the Case Center UK. And again, we are coming up with a book with them. And of course, we are coming with a book on IoT, blockchain analytics, and AI. As the conference will flow, we will find more than 10 patents are being filed. 4 of them are with the UK universities. 4 of them are with the US universities, and 2 are with the Australian universities. So you will feel so proud that from the Indian education and from the Indian universities, one university has taken this step forward of not only publishing, but filing patents and then commercializing it. For the pre-workshop, I'm extremely thankful to the organizing committee of the business school and of the university, which has worked day and night. Today was also a day when we have organized hackathon. So this is in 3 phases. The first phase of the hackathon is at Noida. Second phase of the hackathon is going to be in London in May. And the third part of the hackathon is going to be in New Jersey, which is being again supported by IBM. We also have today branding and marketing simulation exercise, which is being supported by Hindustan Levers. Thank you so very much for supporting it. We started off with the stock market and forex market simulation yesterday, and this was being supported by the NSE and the New York Stock Exchange and London Stock Exchange. Our study abroad programs, which have not only created the history in the entire world, but you will find that the largest number of students which are going abroad, or which any university is receiving abroad, they are from MIT. Last year, Dr. Chauhan created a history by hosting 300 students from Australia from one single university, which is Monash. New TNE models are coming up, and we are so happy that we are partnered to almost every foreign university which has shown interest to coming to India. And we want that the education should be affordable, but at the same time, our students, they should be able to get the world-class exposure. With that commitment and with the with those expectations and outcome-based results, I look forward to once again welcoming all of you on behalf of MIT family, and thank you very much for joining us on the pre-INBUSH era today. Thank you.
Thank you, Group Vice Chancellor, sir, for setting the tone for this great panel session. Ladies and gentlemen, today's panel is a leadership gathering. Each voice carry global insight and grounded wisdom. Please put your hands to welcome Mr. Jyotirmay Bose, founder, Whitespace, and global brand strategist shaping markets, MENASA and South Asia. Ms. Kanchan Gupta, social entrepreneur, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, bringing inclusion and policy to the forefront. Mr. Vineet Tyagi, global CPTO, Biz2X, a leader redefining AI and fintech ecosystem, has live joined us from Bharat Mandapam. Ms. Paromita Mukherjee, global head HCL Technologies, shaping digital leadership across US and Europe. Mr. Arvind Malhotra, board advisor, cloud control and gamify, bridging strategy and innovation. Ms. Gitika Walia, head IT ONGC, driving technology leadership in one of India's most critical public sector enterprise. This discussion promises not just answers, but direction. Not just opinions, but insightful foresight. And now I hand over the stage to our moderator, Ms. Khushbu Gupta, Director Sprinkler, who is one of a very dynamic young leader, and you will see when she starts the moderation. Over to you. Thank you.
A lot of pressure there. And it's good to be called young, right? When you're with students out of here. Okay, so great to be part of such an eminent panel group and, coming up with the topic, which is the hot topic, right? Everyone is revolving around how AI would be in future. So I'll just surprise the panelists and go in any random order. Is that okay? Are we good? Okay. So I'll start off with Ms. Gitika Walia. And I'll just start with a very interesting question, which is more human oriented. So what does genuinely a human centric AI future look like? Will it observe the same value systems of the human beings? What are your thoughts around that? Let's start from the toughest question first.
Hello. Yeah, it's a very good afternoon to all of you. I'm really happy to be with such young people. Seeing them itself give you so much of encouragement to do something good for them. Like starting with human-centeredness of AI, I feel AI should be used for augmenting human capacity. That's what I feel. Our major endeavor towards developing AI should be that it should support human beings. They should be able to eradicate poverty using AI, or you should have good education facilities with AI. So all these will revolve around human-centeredness. I think I will start with an example of our own company, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, how we used AI to solve many of our problems. Maybe that will connect with these youngsters. So what they can do, they can start doing. So 1 year back, we had an hackathon for this AI. And we have these work centers all over India where production, exploration, work goes on. So these young people, they are posted in fields and usually they feel very like it's a sort of a mundane job, daily jobs. But when we gave them this hackathon, they started thinking very critically. They started seeing what are the various problems in field. Like while drilling, sometimes the pipe gets stuck, why it gets stuck, or how can we increase oil production? How can we see where accurately we can find oil? So they came up with some 500 ideas. And out of that, I'm very proud to say that 50 already use cases we have developed now. Like they have used simple AI tools, open source tools. We were not having any big platform for them that time. Now, in fact, we have bought SaaS platform and we are giving them more infrastructure. But that time when they started with very small use cases. And finally, we have made a big ecosystem in which AI, we have all these tools, and anybody from any work center can use those tools and enhance their capacity. Wonderful use cases, like they have installed CCTVs, they do video analytics in that, and they predict like what sort of accident can happen so that you can prevent the accidents. Like there are innumerable cases. So I feel the youngsters should think that way only. First, find out a problem, any sort of a problem, and then think how we can implement AI and solve this problem. You know, how we can get more free time to have more creative freedom for us. That is my point of view. And the second point is regarding human values. Like what I have been studying of AI, I feel it's like a child. What you feed to a child from a very young age, they will learn those values. So it's our duty to give that training set to AI. Now AI is not limited to a single place. It's connecting the whole world. So the whole world should go together in putting moral values into the system. So the good things, ethical frameworks, transparency, accountability, all those moral values have to be put in the training data set. And how can we do that? There's a way of storytelling. When we were young, we were asked to read good storybooks. Like that, we should put good stories on internet, which AI will feel, yeah, this gets rewarded. Good human behavior gets rewarded, and bad human behavior gets punished. So that sort of a feeling, it's not emotional. AI is not emotional, but at least we can start giving these feedbacks. And we should monitor also what is being fed in these LLMs. What are they teaching our youngsters? All that watchdog is needed, I feel. Thank you.
Absolutely. I think that those who don't know that ONGC is one of the most respected companies in India and abroad. And Ms. Gitika Walia is one of the most distinguished professionals. And it's so difficult to chase her and to bring to the conference. Give a huge applause to her. She's a very senior IT leader with more than 35 years of experience in information technology across all the ONGC works, which includes Chennai, Mumbai, Dehradun, Ahmedabad, and Assam. And the Ms. Walia, we are so proud that ONGC is associated with the first, right from the first INBUSH. Every year, ONGC supports it. The first hackathon which we organized, it was supported by the ONGC. At that time, Mr. Subir Raha, who was the chairman and managing director, he personally came, and he and our founder, Dr. Chauhan, sat together. And then we made a book called 101 Attributes of an Emetian. So thank you so much. And we do understand your contribution and the contribution of ONGC, not only in technology, but also working on the softer skills and how a person can transform technology into becoming a good human being. Thank you so very much. Give a huge applause once again to her.
Okay, so moving this conversation forward, over to Mr. Vineet Tyagi, who is connected online from Bharat Mandapam, attending the biggest AI show, right? So a similar question, how can AI systems be designed to augment human judgment rather than replace it? So over to
Khushbu,
you.
I think he has joined the other parallel session. So in 15 minutes, he will be back.
Okay.
So you can take over the question to the next one.
All right, all right. Let me know when he's back, okay? So, okay, so coming to Mr. Arvind, how do we ensure humans remain meaningfully in loop for the high-stake AI systems? So I'm picking the human aspect first, and that's why you're on spot.
Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah. So I think one of the challenges of tools, machines, systems, and now AI has been that it is changing the way human effort is rewarded.
Hello.
And over the period of time, over last 100 years, if we see the jobs that have mushroomed or that have disappeared, is something that we did not have foresight to, or we did not have visibility to. And that is why we are constantly chasing the change. The velocity of the change has now multiplied because of the globalization, and that the geographic boundaries no longer contains the change. So the universities and enterprises and the governments have a challenge. So far, when we're discussing about AI and how does human control, I think the word control is of the past era. So we have been talking about, in the companies that I advise, it's called human in the loop. Human in the loop is to keep the human relevant in the AI decision making and AI powered systems, which means that low cognition jobs will be taken over by AI, and high cognition jobs will remain valid. Now, for high cognition jobs, you would need expertise, you would need experience, and you would need ethics, because the decision making is become very complex. So one of the things that I believe that we should be looking forward is that AI has brought a capability we did not have. Capability to address complexity management in a simpler way. Second, it is able to do contextual depth, which, because of human beings are either left brain wired or right brain wired, their thinking powers get limited by a point of view that their brain challenges them or drives them to. And the third, which is more significant, is that the critical thinking, which is surrounded by environment, by ethics, by compliance, by the society that we live in, right, has yet to be evolved. And that is where contextual depth, along with critical thinking, is the new demand. So for the human beings, if you are assuming that you will remain valid in human in the loop, you have to think of future roles as AI in the loop, which means that AI has to be your co-pilot in everything that you do, irrespective of the subject that you teach, irrespective of the subject that you learn, irrespective of the discipline that you work in, irrespective of whether you are running a family business, professional business, or also be a parent or be a technician. So one of the challenges that we will see is that today, the value will not be measured in terms of velocity of work that you do. Velocity, which means bringing down the time in executing the work, either the volume of work that you deliver, or the variability of work that you do, which means complex work or activities that you do, but it will be linked to ability to go and manage a system which is called AI, which can think complex, which can think contextual, and which can think critically. These are the three skills that have to be deepened in the human being and in the roles that we define.
Okay, so switching gears a little bit. Now, apart from human intelligence, and this question is for Ms. Paramita, apart from human intelligence, what are the common challenges faced by AI tech?
interesting question. And the answer is not going to be prescriptive, it's going to be exploratory. Because even as we speak, there are partial effects and stock markets crashing and things improving and new kids on the block in the AI tools area. And it's truly a time of extreme disruption in terms of technology. And human beings are scared. We are afraid. We are afraid. It's almost as if AI is another person that we're looking at. So to set the tone of all my answers, I need to say this. To whatever you will ask me, we humans have created a technology, a set of tools, an area of development, which is for our betterment, for the betterment of our planet. So we need to keep in mind the sustainability, the bias, the gender, the diversity, the actual representation and ethics in mind when we are playing with fire. But a disruption actually gives us a wonderful time to look back and see what are the tasks that AI has overtaken and given a freed up space for us to think more creatively or strategically. However, coming to your question, ma'am, what are the challenges that AI faces? There are millions, some very technical that I won't go into. Very eminent people sitting here will already be aware. Many of you who are studying AI will be aware of the very technical. But the large ones include, implementation issues, data limitation, and ethical risks. These are the ones I'm going to talk of. See, data limitations are actually very, very important. What training sets you are giving your AI, how bias free you're making it, how much of data privacy, security, transparency, how much less of black box decision making you're enabling in your AI. These are very important. So these are challenges that human beings are on the guard. So these are challenges that might slow down the implementation, or it might take a longer time. Even large corporations, when they are implementing AI, it is slow for obvious reasons. It is slow. We are like at the turning of the road. So implementation costs, implementation issues are going to, be there. What many of us are scientists, and even our researchers who are in the process of developing AI tools are talking of the environmental impact in a very large manner. The carbon footprint that these power hungry AI systems are going to be leaving behind. All that needs to be taken care of. And I will give you some examples. We have a set of young people sitting here where, you might ask, if AI doesn't have emotions, if AI is just a tool, then what's about ethics? Governing the way your AI will give an outcome in an ethical manner, and understanding that you're not feeding in hidden biases, so that you're controlling the outcome, is very important. So that's one of the challenges we face. And we in hiring, in hallucination outputs that your AI tools are giving, and across the world over the last few years, we have seen very many businesses, millions of dollars getting polished off because of the hidden challenges that were not taken care of. You know about the Volkswagen issues, you know about the Taco Bell, Google AI, you know about the Arup heist, where so much deep fake, where money was taken off. So at the end of the day, it's not AI that is facing a challenge. It is the issues that we need to be governing, looking at, and probably taking a more look at. That is a deeper look at. That's probably looking like challenges. having said that, AI development and implementation is happening at a speed faster than any of us can imagine. So I think we as human beings need to catch up on that speed as well.
Thank you. And this was Promita Mukherjee. Give a huge applause to her. It's one of the most respected leaders, global head at HCL Technologies, USA and Europe. And I have just been reminded that looking at the importance of our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, is watching you live and is sending his blessings and sending his regards to each one of you. As you know, that Dr. Chauhan is a great visionary who has not only disrupted the entire education system, but has brought the new revolution in the country. But also, he was very highly appreciative of the comments of Arvind. There's a question as we are speaking. You will find that there are questions which are coming from the other camps. There are 250,000 students who are watching you live from India, from Singapore, from Dubai, from Netherlands, from Tashkent, from Mauritius, and other parts of the world, wherever we have got the campuses. And one question is coming from Singapore campus, if the moderator, Dr. Gupta, if you permit. From the Singapore campus, one of our professors is asking a question, and the question is for anyone can answer. And they say that we have seen in the last 2 weeks many statements coming on the AI. Even today in the morning session, which is happening at Parliament, you will find that someone said that AI is a bubble. It's going to burst anytime. And someone saying that no, it is going to survive and India is going to be the superpower with the help of the AI. But we have also seen that in the last 2 weeks, stock markets tumbling down. It's going like this. TCS, you will find their shares taking a massive hit, Infosys coming down. So what is your view? Do you think that AI is a bubble or AI is going to survive? Or how the technology is going to play a role? Is there a change which you feel, or do you think that in the times to come, something else will emerge?
I can take it. So I think we're confusing the word bubble. The AI valuation may be a bubble. The AI value is not. All your great value is unlocked after the bubble bursts, whether it's .com, steam engine, horse becoming auto drive. So I think that's the thing. People are confusing valuation and tech stocks going down with value creation. It takes time. Early adopters will begin, then people will come, and that's the short answer. I think there's a lot of noise. The people who are creating value are distilling signal and moving on to, like Gitika and some others said, go problem backwards and use cases to create value, rather than get into this thing of how much the stock should be today or tomorrow and those kind of things.
So just to add, I think one important thing that you have to realize is that over a period of time, human effort has been coming down. And maybe if we go back to our history, we would know that the kings spent more time in Ras Leela than in governance. Okay, once the process were established, guidelines were established, dharma systems were established, we are now at an inflection while we have been in the society of bhog, consumption, right? That consumption society will get revisited, okay? Because now the technology is going to consume the human effort, and we have been paid by the effort that we put in. So you have to change your mindset that if we are delivering effort, we should get a reasonable pay. That pay will come down. Companies which are associated with effort will see erosion in valuation or value. But companies which are solving problems, building new ideas, and have a foresight of future and are willing to take risk in building the future will gain. And that's where the real value or disruption is. Thank you.
Thank you. Will you like to add?
Okay, I'll just add a point of view, just thinking about it, because this is a hot topic we have been discussing for a while. So in my view, it is like a change of era. In terms of, if you remember, we started with the machine era where mechanics became the the thing, right? Everybody was focused on mechanics and mechanical engineering, and those streams were top notch. Then we moved to electronics era. So electronics became a thing. Eventually, fast forward, internet came in and it changed our lives, 2000s, Y2K, and all the stories happened. Then we came to smartphone era, that everything is on the phone, everything in an app. And now we are coming to yet another era. So it's not really a bubble. I would not define it as a bubble, but yes, it's the start of a new era. There are a lot of unknowns like every era we have been part of. The key difference in my view is the pace. The pace of how we are transitioning from one era to another. Now it's getting much faster. So while we are still speaking, there are a lot of new apps are being developed and we don't really know what is the potential around that. So that's how I define it in my view.
Thank you. Give a huge applause to all of them, please. To all the speakers, you are being watched live by not only by the students, by the academic community across the globe. And our founder is extremely thankful as he's getting number of hundreds of messages from across the globe on this and very hot topic. So from the bottom of our heart, once again, thank you very much for coming here. And I think there are a lot of takeaways we will be taking back. And then there are academic questions which we'll be sending you at a later stage. Thank you. Over to the moderator.
Okay, so moving forward to, this is for Ms. Kanchan, that what balance should be struck between innovation and regulation?
Thank you for this interesting question, Khushbu. Thank you, everyone. And before going to question and any answer, I would like to share one insight with all, Amity students here. You are really blessed. What I am observing here sitting, this is something which is we have not got when we were in our PG, MBAs. I've also done from a very good college, but getting an insight from, itself from the industry experts, and it is an open discussion. So you are not just getting, and none of us is answering from GPT for your information. These all are based on our experience. So my everything, as I am a social entrepreneur, I work very closely with senior citizens and people with mobility challenges. So I see AI from very human perspective or ground level. When we say, Khushbu, can you repeat your question, please? When we say regulation, its sound or innovation comes negative to us, right? Somebody is stopping us. Being into a student shoe, I can feel being an innovator, I am also a pioneer in my category. So I know if some regulation comes to me at the time of innovation, I could not have done what I have done. But when we talk about AI, regulations are quite significant and important because AI is very, very powerful. Here, things not just coming to us that what we can do, but I take it is what is the purpose behind any innovation. I see everything from the social perspective. If we are doing anything for the betterment of humankind, it should get a chance to give a trial, because sometimes regulation makes it slow and innovation need to be faster. So we should not slow it down with regulation. But what my worry is, what we were discussing also, that there is a subject called moral science has been removed from our curriculum, which was there when I was studying, right? Which is very, very critical and important. And from where AI is learning, trust me, we are training them. If we maintain our ethics or human values while giving them prompt, while talking to them, while sharing our views, while updating them, trust me, AI is gonna be big, big blessing for us. And when we say regulation, it should be there, but it should not delay the innovation. So it should be a balance between innovation and regulation, because what I feel, every innovator is answerable. And from which I'm talking from, again, my own personal perspective, I'm working with senior citizens and their medical health and all. So what I feel, one small mistake can take one life. So it should be, under the regulation, it should, and just to be in hurry, we should not cross the boundaries of privacy. We should not cross the boundary of regulation. We should be in our own pace, but we should think about the consequences much before, then, realizing it later, what has happened and we should not have done it. So I again used to say one line in my all, whatever, wherever I go.
Use this one.
So मैं जहां भी जाती हूँ, wherever I go, I use two lines which I would like to add on here as well. बहुत ताकत होती है उन झुर्रियों वाले हाथों में, बहुत ताकत होती है उन झुर्रियों वाले हाथों में, जिंदगी जीने का तजुर्बा मिलता है दादा दादी की बातों में. इस लाइन का AI से क्या लिंक हो सकता है, and why I'm mentioning this, because as sir mentioned about Mr. Chauhan and he's watching us, so what I have understood about MET and all of us sitting here is it is coming from there. Now we need to carry it forward the way it should go. So let's not shun away. Let's not take it as a something which can be a negative, but take regulation in a very positive way.
So the buzzword these days is responsible AI. So it's not just about AI, but having a responsible AI. Thank you. So moving on to a very close topic, which is very close to me per se, and that is for Mr. Jyotirmoy Bose, which is how can we help leaders use AI as their strategic thinking body beyond the typical use cases most would do around, which are research, drafting, communication, creating content on presentation. So what are the other use cases beyond this we can explore?
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, so I think most people end up using it for these kind of use cases, research, content creation, whether text or audio, video, email drafting, composition, refining my original draft, etc. Right? And these are normally user-led, and therefore they don't scale. And everybody has their own learning. Then you'll hear somebody saying it hallucinates, it doesn't know, I know better. There's a reason the topic here says applying human intelligence and AI. We put human intelligence before AI, and that's important, right? In the theme of the workshop. And it's human intelligence, not human ignorance or human arrogance. The worst thing is to throw the baby away with the water and be dismissive and say, AI doesn't know, I know better, I'm smarter. A big part, as the people talked about shifting of era, is humility, to admit and acknowledge that maybe I am wrong and something will emerge that I don't know yet. It's only when you bring that, and the big disruptive at scale things I'm seeing, I work with large enterprises and countries, notably in the UAE. And the big thing is using AI as your strategic thinking buddy or co-pilot, but for thinking, to help you to think better, to be able to decide better, and to be able to problem solve better. There are structured prompts and all to help you. A big thing is after you've written what you've done and after you explain, all the people talk about, give me context, give me role, give me task, you'll get all of that. One thing which most people talk about it, after you finish saying what you've said, ask AI that interview me, asking me one question at a time so as to not overwhelm, and then move forward. The response you will get will be magical and so sharp to your context will blow your mind. I have helped companies negotiate multi-million dollar M&A transactions in 3 weeks, which we would have taken that much time to decide an investment banker to take the mandate, and got better pricing and better lock just by using this as a thing, to give an example. So if we are using it just for those original things, you're using AI below its pay grade. It's like using a jet engine to power a ceiling fan. That's really limited use, right? Most people are using it to do faster, better, and more productivity, and therefore lay off people. The power of AI is to help you to think more clearly. Okay, use it to surface questions that you're not asking or able to see today. AI helps you see and know what you don't know. Most of us don't know what we don't know. AI solves that blind spot. So use it also to discover what questions you're avoiding. We have our biases. At the intellectual level, we say we know our biases, but have the humility, have the openness and vulnerability to ask it to critique, be your harshest critic, and tell you something, a point, poke a hole in your argument. And to the students, I want to say, you're entering the workforce at the most awesome time ever. This is the time when all the answers which you've learned at MIT will be commoditized. The whole value will be in asking questions. AI will help you sharpen and refine the questioning ability. With your curiosity, your perspective, your context, go forward.
Okay. So with that, the linked question to Mr. Arvind is that we're talking about power of AI, then what skills should be prioritized? And this is more relevant for the students, that what skills should be prioritized to future-proof the workforce of any institution?
So continuing my chain of thoughts, let me answer is, since efforts are coming down and human efforts should be seen as a valuable asset. Okay. The problem is that the efforts are going waste and they're not getting monetized. So clearly we have to bring back the concept of waste management on human beings. So far, the concept of waste management has been applied on products, food items, consumables, perishables, and so on and so forth. And we've been segregating waste and ensuring that we can get value out of waste, and we run a cyclical economy, and that's a big business already. You can do a similar, and educational institutions will have to lead on it. So waste is an acronym. Waste is not waste, as one would decipher. So the first is you have to develop wisdom. Now, what is wisdom? It is experience. It is practice. It is also foresight. AI can give you experience, but it cannot give you practice. And it cannot give you foresight. So have built skills in human beings and in young minds and young leaders, ability to have foresight and ability to base your decision on those foresights and that experience, which is powered by AI, and as well as being able to understand the environment in which you operate. So that's number one. A is about ability to assess the context in which you operate. Because most of the time, we think that myself and I are the only thing that matter. And because of the digital world and the social world, this has become more relevant because we are now living in a world where every information that we get is being fed what we like, and what we don't like and what we don't want to hear, that information is getting blocked out. So we are getting more negative and more biased as we move forward. So assessing context and understanding other people's point of view is a new skill that possibly has not been taught, has to be taught now. The third element is S. S is all about succession. How do you, if you get a decision on your table, how do you proceed behind that? How do you succeed beyond that? So decision makers today are getting what we call cognitive decline or mental clogging. Okay, younger students and younger adults are recognizing that too much of psychological pressure is getting created on them because they have to take quicker decisions because there is so much enormity of data. The data comes with speed. Data is already analyzed, right? But what you don't get with the data is the context. So succeeding in this complexity is really the new skill that you need. Okay. The third is technology. The technology turbulence is here to stay. Your ability to change with technology turbulence and understand the limitations of technology and ability to absorb technology faster than your colleague is better. It's the rule of the jungle. The tiger eats or the lion eats the animal which moves the slowest, right? So you have to outpace the person. If you are running and the tiger is behind you, you have to outpace the other person. So you have to learn AI to be ahead of your colleagues. And you have to be a faster learner of AI than your colleagues so that you can stay ahead. And the last, obviously, is E. You must understand ethics. And ethics gets challenged in the compliance world. So if you are compliant, it does not mean you are ethical. And if you are ethical, it does not mean you are compliant. That is, again, a human being skill that is required, which is called judgment. So these are the skills that I think that you guys need to focus on. And the universities can lead in developing these newer skills that the future leaders and talent would require. Thank you.
This is very, very relevant for everyone out here. Thank you so much. So with that, Ms. Paramita, the question comes in about the AI bias, right? Can it be eliminated? What is your thought? We humans can take excuse, right? We are humans. But what about AI bias?
Very important question in a forum like this. Bias is hidden in the algorithm. It is hidden in the data. It is hidden in the training data sets that we're giving AI tools. It's hidden everywhere because it's like a scope creep. It's creeping in through the human beings that are creating the tool. So, eliminating it completely means putting a governance structure. I am just remembering your previous question to Kanchan ma'am. Putting in a very tight governance structure where the tool will not give biased outputs, or keeping a human in the loop where if it does, it is checked and then then it is implemented, because we have known disastrous outcomes of these kind of biased outcomes, hiring, pay, insurance. I don't need to mention it. We have bright young people who know, and very, very big corporations being fooled. So eliminating it is tough, at least at this point in time, but implementing it in a manner where you are ethically governing it at regular intervals, checking for outcomes, correcting it, going and re-implementing it, and being very careful about what you're feeding it, frankly. So yes, I think bias can be mitigated, bias can be brought down, but we have to always be on the we have to be very careful that we are not creating Frankensteins for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. We are scared of Frankensteins for sure. But yes, with awareness, we have to learn to manage that, right? So being prepared for it is the
Yes,
skill that
yes,
comes
because
as a
it's
clarity.
closely related to machine learning, and it's closely related to AI, the pace at which machines are learning, the pace at which AI is improving itself. Human beings need to put in those structures. Sorry, I'm just taking one more second.
Sure.
AI implementation, AI development, AI progress is going at a pace which is far more swifter than the legal frameworks, the representation frameworks, the equality frameworks that exist for the entire planet. So we have to be fast.
Thank you, Ms. Mukherjee. HCL is taking large number of students from MIT and from our many friends, and quite a few of our students are working at the global level also. And she was kind enough to mention the name of our student who has reached at a global level. But Ms. Mukherjee, there are a number of questions from our foreign campuses which are flowing in. This is for the entire panel, but especially for the HCL. I think that one of your one of our alumni is asking this question, and who's working with HCL, and she's watching the program is also being watched by alumni. So they are saying that what is your take on ethics versus technology? Human touch is more important, or do you feel that technology touch is more important? Yeah, I think that anyone can take it.
I can take it. I get it. So it's not either, or it's not English ka or it's Hindi ka or, right? I mean, it's both. So during any change, technology always leads. Businesses follow. Compliance and regulation ethics lag. It's always a chasing game. Compliance will regulation and compliance, regulation will lag and compliance will drag. So that's the nature of the beast. Now, in fact, just today I was reading that they're now using AI is creating a lot of fake, fake ID, fake this. And guess how we are combating AI? With AI. So we are setting a thief to catch a thief, kind of a thing. So the world is going in that direction. Of course, ethics has to be important. Now, given the like unstable geopolitical order and concentration with big tech, will technical and commercial interests overpower that? We don't know. I mean, I'm too small to comment on that, but I think both have to go. It's not without.
May I add? It's out there that people that roles where human touch is more important, where you are taking care of people, where you're taking care of children, where psychology is being human psychology is involved, where the entire context of human history and human development is involved. The human touch will always be on top. It should be, it rather be, otherwise we are in for trouble. As far as repetitive tasks which take us longer time or take us more we get tired doing those tasks, or volumes, or those kind of things can be given away to AI. But those roles where human beings will not be replaced, and that includes educators, teachers, because teachers are not only about the course that they're developing, they are also about how the personalities are getting shaped. The students' personalities get shaped across different ages by their educators, caregivers, nurses, and I can think of a million others. It's there out there, all of you know. But anything which does require the understanding of entire human history, of entire human development, that will always be the human touch.
Thank you. And we are adding to this question comment from our London campus, MIT University in London, where Dr. Lumi is watching along with the students. She's a principal of MIT University in London. And she's saying that the students are mainly of the view that predictive analysis and machine learning, most of the data which is given, machine only is able to comprehend what is given to the machine, whereas the human is going to see that what is happening on the ground. And they are giving you a lot of examples. They are saying that quant funds across the globe, when they were launched, everyone was thinking that the quant funds are going to give the best returns. But the reality is that quant funds have performed much lesser than the fund managers or the investment bankers who are doing it manually. So that's one comment which is coming up. The other comment is coming up is about the chat GPT. They say that chat GPT is a wonderful tool which only talks the positive of a person. You ask anything to the chat GPT, and they are going to take the data which is given to the chat GPT and is going to give the same information. So what is the use of AI and especially the technology, which is only giving you the answers which you want to listen? Your comments.
So this is interesting because you can say that for consultants as well. All consultants respond back to the answers that the management or the leadership is putting forward to them and telling them or nudging them to respond back with the pro bias to their decisions that they've already made. So they hire consultants only for that. And ChatGPT and various other tools, right, are largely doing it for consequence management. And that's again a skill which is required, because if the tool is given accountability, is made accountable, okay, it cannot handle that consequence or the risk associated with those decision making. So one of the things that any tool, and the reason you can beat the tool is, and there will be a smaller set of people who will beat the tool over a period of time, as we've seen AI being used in chess. Okay, because the cognitive ability of a generic human being is far below an average AI tool today, because their experiences are limited. Their environment that they can reach out to, or the data sets that they have access to, is limited. So one of the challenges that I see is that analyst as a function will disappear. It will be led by an AI agent. But the decision-making process and the decision enabler has to be done by the human being. And the challenge would be that decisions are no longer going to be taken at the CXO level. The decision-making process will come down. And that is a change that we should be ready to handle. And that is why fund managers are not CXOs. They are responsible for the automation, they are responsible for the bots, but they learn the patterns and they try to beat the patterns.
I'd like that. Arvind talked about the fund manager part. Let me talk about the other part on ChatGPT. So my experience and therefore perspective on this is different. In America, the suing laws are high. The number one use case against AI, the number one use case world over is therapy for AI, ChatGPT. I don't know how much of you know that, by a mile. Okay, it's more than the next 10 use cases combined. If I am talking to ChatGPT for therapy and I get depressed and I commit suicide, you're likely to get sued. So the default mode in ChatGPT on other LLMs is encouraging, positive, cheerful, enabling, all of that kind, great, like Bravo kind of thing. You can set the mode to whatever you want it to be.
Yeah. Applause for him. I think this is one of the very important points which he has mentioned. We did a conference last year in the University of Monash, where we deliberated, Ms. Mukherjee, on the point that how AI can help in medical education, especially in the cases where a person is depressed. So I think that manually, if you look at that, maybe a psychiatrist or a psychologist is able to see somewhere about 100 patients in a month, right? Whereas with the AI, you will be able to have an access over hundreds and thousands of the people, right? So for example, if someone says that he has to commit a suicide, and this was a conclusion, that someone asked a ChatGPT that I'm going to do a suicide. So it's at that very second that someone is going to guide you that what you're going to do. You can say that, no, go out, walk, talk to people, because if that stress at that time is diffused, you are safe. So I think that he is correct, that ChatGPT is giving you positive answers because they are not only looking at the data, but they are presenting the data in the positive way. So I think a huge applause for him. But that is for the motion. Against the motion, in the same conference, we came on the financials. I think that AI is being used in the financials at quite large. So you will find that especially the quant funds, we are taking decisions that which script to invest, when to go in and when to go out. So if let's say that of my fund manager, Mr. Shrivastava, tells me that you need to invest here, and I put a lot of money there because his calculations were so that if you put that money, then you will be getting a return of about 30%. But after, let's say, waiting for months and months, I get a negative return, then I am quite stressed because of that. And we will keep on continuing this discussion, but over to the moderator.
Thank you. And I was just thinking along that, there's a fun thing that happens, which is a fun thing with Google Maps. Like if you're driving with your friends or anybody and you miss a turn, your friend will shout at you, you missed the turn. But Google Maps will never do that. It will just recalculate and give you the other path. And that's actually the same thing happening with AI, right? It would not scold you. It will just tell you, okay, with your view,
Huh.
this is what you can do. But then at the same time, it has
There's
to
backstory to
be
that also.
balanced and also stop you when you're going to the wrong path.
So there's a backstory to that also. I mean, the original versions, Tom Tom and others did not do that. They would say you're lost. And then a woman sued them, said that I was already lost and traumatized, and this person said that, and I was even more scared. So now they've gone back to being what you just said.
Reminds me of Katie Saran, who says in a movie, everything, theek hai.
Theek hai, yeah, exactly, right? And that becomes a perfect woman. And we don't want perfection everywhere sometimes, and that is the human aspect to it. So moving forward, the question is for Ms. Gitika, that we talk so much about all the aspects. Let's think about sustainability matrix. How do we define progress in AI driven society so that a sustainable matrix can be embedded directly? Ms.
See,
Gitika.
any technological advancement should be accompanied with what is the social impact or environmental impact of that technological advancement. Now, just now we were talking about bubble. What is that actually? It's not sustainability. No, we are saying people are losing jobs. So that is not question of sustainability. We are here to augment human capacity. We are not about to take jobs out of them. So I feel like, as Mr. Arvind was telling, that skill is very important, where we should have the judgment and technology. Both should go together. So we should see to it that AI is not taking away jobs, it's giving more different types of jobs. So that our country, especially in India, we need employment. We need more employment. So we should see to it that we bring that type of AI which is giving more jobs, more opportunities to the people. And I feel our government is doing that. The way they are reaching out on villages and all, where children are able to study in their local languages through AI. If you give education to them with that, they will naturally grow well, and the villages will develop. And if the farmers are helped in taking proper decisions for their crops, yields, and soil health and all that, naturally, if villages will develop, they will have good employment opportunities there. They won't come to metros. Our traffic problem will be solved. Our pollution problem will be solved. So if you use AI with wisdom, there is no question of affecting the sustainability issue. That's my take.
Absolutely. Continuing on, similar question for Ms. Kanchan, right? So considering your background, can AI help humans make better long-term environmental decisions and sustain their ethics in life? So what are your thoughts around that aspect?
Absolutely. I think it is the biggest opportunity. In fact, I take it like what AI can do in this sector is the biggest opportunity. But here is this one thing which I would like to add on. AI can give us the option for the most profitable, solution towards it. But ultimately, it's us, it's human, or we are the decision maker, that we have to choose sustainability over only profitability. So this is the way it is going to be balanced, I feel.
All right. So with that, now I just want to give that option to the live audience here. I know a lot of things are going on in your mind. So do you have a question for the panel right away? Okay, we have a raise of hand. Check the mic. You have a mic? Okay, okay. Please get a mic for the audience. I get it. So in the meantime, others can think about it. We'll just take one or two more questions.
Hello. So I'm not a part of the MBA batch. I'm actually a law graduate. And I have a few questions about the legal implications of AI. And also, you were talking about the psychological things. So that is also a main concern I have. So the legal concerns is, if you know Grok, that is owned by Elon Musk, has been allowed to make nude images of children and do pedophilia, and men are using it freely, right? People are threatening women in India with things like this, that, oh, you don't do this, I'm going to take a picture of you and just upload it. And there are still no laws governing the safety of human beings when it comes to these AI powers that AI has. In fact, now AIs have made their own app where they talk to each other. There's no human intervention there. They want to talk to each other. They want to make a language which humans will not understand. So my concerns are, how will we govern such intelligence that is not human legally? And secondly, about the psychological note, lots of people have gotten AI psychosis and have ended up overdosing, have ended up killing themselves, have ended up ruining their mental health because of taking therapy from AI, actually, because AI is not giving them the correct human response. So these are my main concerns as a Gen Z person, seeing the rapid growth of AI, because nothing in human history has grown as fast as AI is growing right now. It is faster than what the human brain can compute according to its whole history. Nothing has happened this fast. So how do we as human beings compute this and handle it with care, so that such things like Grok and wrongdoings of AI, like scams through AI. We had heard of these phone calls coming from fake police, like to parents, saying your child is in jail, etc., etc. So AI will now also start penetrating in the wrong ways, where crime, where the things that are not supposed to happen will happen. Another thing, I am an intellectual property lawyer. So again, AI art is killing real art. The intellectual property of AI belongs to whom? That is another very important question. And I think legally we need to start making laws that are importantly very, like, we need to start working on them very rapidly. So I would love to know what the panelists have to say about this. Thank you.
Let me answer the third question first. IP laws. Sam Altman has already said that any image or any content generated by AI, he has a right, and they will bring in laws to take part of your earnings if you monetize the AI output. So be worried about, if you are consuming AI tools, nothing is free. Okay? And they will enact laws. The second is, AI is boundaryless. So if you think of legal perspective in Indian context, okay, is valid within the Indian boundary. We have accepted to use AI tools of America. So the laws that govern those tools are in the land of USA. So the legal implications are that we will have to understand the legal boundaries and legal limitations, not in the context of geographical boundaries, but the country of origin of where this technology is delivering its services or is hosted in. The third element is that images that you talked about. Again, data residency acts. If the data is resident in another location and is being consumed in another location, again, legal laws cannot do much about it. Data Protection, Data Privacy Act of Government of India, or GDPR, or any acts cannot prevent that, because the data may not be resident in their data centers. Now, you will have to create restrictions. You will have to create inhibitions. And one inhibition which is going to come very shortly is the cost. Today, we are getting used to using these technologies free. Tomorrow, they will all cost.
Those were very in the face questions. And I think you missed one of the things that we were mentioning, that our governance laws have to be stricter, wiser, more adaptive, more flexible, and be implemented at a far more quicker pace. We did not have cybersecurity police stations a while back, right? We have them now. Yeah. So there are going to be issues, there are going to be problems. As long as we are awake and wide awake about them, things I hope are going to be taken care of.
I'll just add a perspective here that this is a very valid question to ask, and everyone should ask this. This is the time we have to raise these questions and let the people at the authority everywhere, every forum, please ask these questions, because the answers are in bits and pieces. Nobody has answers to all your questions. That's my belief, that nobody will be able to give you yes, 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 check, 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 check. No, there is a gray area, and we have the responsibility to bring it up. And even as developers who are in the IT domain, they have to think when they are building for an organization, small or big, no matter what. The ethical framework, as we were discussing, it comes from within. Starts from us, from the students, right? You join an organization, whether it is a startup or a big company, you can always raise those flags. You have the right to raise the flags, and that ethical moral dilemma should bring up the challenges, that if you're building something, can that be harmful? Would it be a threat to the society? All these questions have to be raised by each one of us, and so that we can together build the framework. There is one initiative I want to mention, which is Content Authenticity Initiative. You can Google it up, and it's not a new one. It has been around for a long time, which is about especially the images part, that let's say there is an image taken or morphed or whatever. Can you identify the source of it? And there are organizations, the top ones worldwide, who are signed up for it. So if you're using their software, if you're using that technology, then in the code itself, you can identify that what was the source, when was the image created, how it was modified, that can be tracked back. So that is a very important piece of the puzzle, that are the organizations which are, creating image tools and other pieces, are they following the guidelines of the Content Authenticity Initiative? And to the point about the attribution of artwork, right? That is also a very, very sensitive topic, but at the same time, there are, some considerations that even if, so you would see that there are portals where you can buy digital art. So digital art selling is also another avenue which has come up as an option for the artists, that while you can sell your, let's say, painting, you can also sell a digital artwork and get revenue out of it. Now, again, it's all about having that ethical framework. You can copy it and sell it and not attribute it to the original person, but at the same time, there are frameworks which ensure that the right owner also gets a share of the revenue back. Now, while some organizations are doing it because they are big organizations, they have that kind of a sensibility. Now, it's on us to make sure that we question everywhere we are, and as part of the organization, as an employee, as a founder, anywhere, we have to think about the society. It's in our hands. And again, I'll say, great question, and we definitely have to raise it at every forum we can. And also from regulation standpoint, I think there can be things done, but at the same time, not slowing down the innovation, as she said. So that's my take.
I just add one small thing, because you all are Gen Z here, right? You talk about AI, but I have a family of 2 lakh plus senior citizen. So being a founder of Senior Citizen Forum of India, what I'm dealing with is how to be digital. So you think, so somehow I'm finding it quite similar when I'm teaching them how to use digital things or how to get digitalized, the way you are concerned about AI. Same kind of threats are coming to them, like कोई misuse करेगा, password theft हो जाएगा, photograph leak हो जाएगा, pension चला जाएगा. There's similar kind of consequences they are talking. So are we not digital? Yes, we are digital, but they are apprehensive. We are training them with confidence because we are confident. So similar a phase will come when we get, some stringent rules and governance, that I agree it's not there because it is faster than we expected. So, but we will be equally confident teaching AI to elderlies and people with mobility challenge. I'm sure that way we are confident teaching them Facebook and WhatsApp. So I think this is, when we are going somewhere, I take it very practical thing. When we go for a tour or somewhere to visit, there is always a blind turn. We don't know what is ahead. But that after that turn, it might be a beautiful valley or maybe a car banging to us. So we are on that transfers or that words of a turning point. So many things yet to be covered, many things yet to be on place.
Okay, so one last question, and I think there was a raise of hand here. Can take the mic because the people online would not be able to hear otherwise.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Anchal. I'm from AIBS and I'm working in the area of human resource and organization behavior. So a quick question. It's not a question, actually. It's from Mr. Arvind. You talked about waste management in context to human efforts. So up till time, like we have heard about how AI is helping in managing the waste. But being an HR professional, so I am taking it in terms of like how human efforts are being wasted when we are using it in terms of AI. So am I on the right direction, or your context is a little bit different to that?
So there are two parts of that. One is the human effort. If you are working for a company and you are using AI, you have a lot of free time. Can the company pay you half the salary? Can they employ you half the time? That's one challenge. Okay. What do we do with the time saved or the effort saved? Is it redeployable? And if yes, where? And the HR leadership of organizations have to start imagining that. Or where do I engage the employee fully? Otherwise, if they have idle time, they can go and waste it and make other people unproductive as well. So that's part one. My context was that we have to be prepared for that the effort will keep coming down and we have to find more innovative and complex work and transfer decision-making authority down the line. And thirdly, which is more important, be able to analyze data, give it a context, and give a recommendation so that you can check whether the AI system's recommendation is similar to the human capacity, and if it is validated against the company's ethics, policies, guidelines, and the environment in which the company operates.
So
I hope I have answered that.
One another query from the skills which you shared, like how to cope up with this changing environment of AI. You talked about ability to change with technology turbulence. So I'll just share you a quick experience of mine. I joined PhD in 2015, and for data analysis, that time we were using one software which was SPSS. It's been almost 10 years I am into data analysis, and it's been 20,000 softwares which are coming into the picture. And every time whenever a new software comes, it becomes a challenge to me to learn that. So from a human perspective, if I say being from psychological side, even if I say a cognitive part of it, how much we should be adjusting with the technology, or should there be any stop? Because my mind do have a capacity to learn. Now I do not know whether it is good to disclose. I'm 45 now. So maybe by the time, if we know psychologically, if we know, the brain stops learning, or the learning, capacity of the brain gets lower with time. So how to cope up with this technology turbulence at the age where we have already observed much, and how much capacity we have to observe, which is coming up in the future?
Since you've declared your age, I'll declare my age. I'm 64. Okay. But one of the things that I have learned is that learning is now going to be continuous. Every day you have to do bite-sized learning. So last 3 years, I have been creating poems and songs for my friends, colleagues, and children, and my nieces and nephews using AI. And I'm getting good at it. Now, if someone you asked in my social network, can Arvind sing, can Arvind write? They said, no, he can make acronyms, he can write good speeches, but his ability to sing, he can listen to good music, he can appreciate good music. But I have a co-creator now, right? So one, you should not see human capacity being limited for learning. Okay? The second conversation that you have to have with yourself is, I have to make that choice, which new skills, which new tools, which new systems, which new processes that I need to acquire. And that will be only driven by demand. So you can ask AI, what's the future current demand and what is the likely future demand? And based on that, you can adapt. I hope I've answered your question.
Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you.
With that, we come to the end of the panel discussion, exploring the human aspect, the ethical aspect, the threats, the opportunities, the road ahead, the questions we do not know answers to, the frameworks we still have to build. But then there is a hope as we move forward to the new era. We have the responsibility to make it the way we want it to be. So as we move forward, we are hopeful, we are prepared, and of course, India will take charge as it has done in past. And we conclude the panel discussion. Over to you.
Okay, in my concluding remarks, I think that I would like to answer these two questions which they have asked. There's a saying which says that obsolete yourself. If you will not, then someone else will. So I think that we need to obsolete ourselves. And it reminds me that long time back, when we were talking about computers, everyone was saying that, oh, well, computers will come and they will take the jobs. So there was a debate in the schools, in colleges, in universities, in parliament, that computerization is going to take the jobs. Computers came and we all survived. They became the part of our ecosystem. Then came internet. And people said, well, internet comes and then please restrict people. Youngsters should not be exposed to internet, and all kind of things are there on internet. The question which you asked today about the ChatGPT. Internet brought a new revolution, and all people, right, even those who are in 80s, they are using it. Because you are from the legal fraternity, there is a lawyer called Pawan Duggal. If you know him, he is working on the cyber laws. So he has written a book about which he is talking about that every single lawyer in this country will be using technology, will be using AI in the times to come. At Harvard, I was there 2 years back, and there's a program called JD. And in the JD, when we spoke to the students, 85% of the students who are doing the JD program, they were not from arts, they were not from commerce, but they were the engineers. So word is changing very fast. It also reminds me that 30 years back, I was sitting with Mr. Chauhan, who happens to be now the chancellor, and we were flying together, Mr. Asim Chauhan, another chancellor, who runs the incubator. And there's a girl here who helped me. We were conceiving an idea of creating a company called allsolution.com. And our idea was, and I was very young, I'm not old today, but at that time I gave an idea that why not we create a company which should be the solution to all the problems. We debated and we became too academic. We were not able to do that. Years later, when I was traveling with him, he said that I think that idea which you gave, it created the company like Flipkart. So I think technology is must, and you need to work out, we need to innovate, keep on innovating. AI, to my mind, is going to survive. It is going to give the new definition to the word. Let's give a huge applause to everyone who's present there. Keep on applauding for everyone. Ms. Jyoti Bose, Jyotirmoy Bose, Ms. Gupta, Mr. Gupta, Mr. Tyagi, Ms. Mukherjee. Give a huge applause to all of them. Mr. Mehrotra and Ms. Gitika Avalia, as they say that there are few people which are known as balcony people who will always push you, who will always make you stronger. And I think these are the social workers from the bottom of heart, on behalf of our founder, on behalf of our chancellors, on behalf of all the universities in India and abroad. Once again, thank you so very much. Keep on coming. Give a huge applause once again to all of them. Wonderful audience. Founder is watching you live, and he has sent me a message that please, we are going to forward the emails of each one of you, and he is going to give you a prize by having a conversation. And believe me, if he converses, he will give you 1,000 ideas that how you can use AI and how you can use new technology for the benefit of mankind. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Group Vice Chancellor, sir. Thank you, Founder President, sir, for blessing us. Ladies and gentlemen, as it is well said that when you give a command to ChatGPT, how should this moderation go? The "and" will come, you should applaud. But when the live audience applauds and make the show go so hit, that's where the human touch comes in the age of artificial intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, now the time has come to felicitate all the guests who have joined us this great afternoon. I would request them to kindly step forward and we move to the felicitation ceremony. Every great conversation deserves gratitude. We move now to the felicitation ceremony, honoring our distinguished panelists and guests for sharing their time, wisdom, and leadership vision with us. Your contribution today will echo far beyond this auditorium. Give a big applause to Mr. Jyotirmay Bose, founder of Whitespace, Middle East, North Africa, Minasa and South Asia, Dubai resident. It's an honor to have you today. Amity is proud to confer Amity Excellence Award to Ms. Kanchan Gupta, Social Entrepreneur, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Indeed, a great honor to have you today, and the kind of work you are doing for social entrepreneurship is praiseworthy. Amity is proud to confer Amity Excellence Award for Global Technology Leadership and Digital Transformation to Ms. Paramita Mukherjee, Global Head HCL Technologies, US and Europe. Amity is proud to confer Amity Excellence Award for Cloud Innovation and Emerging Technology Leadership to Mr. Arvind Malhotra, Board Advisor, Cloud Control Gamify. We are immense proud to confer Amity Excellence Award for IT Leadership in Strategic Energy and Enterprise to Ms. Gitika Valia, Head IT ONGC. Amity is proud to confer Amity Excellence Award to Dr. Khushbu Gupta, Director, Sprinkler, who was also the moderator for today's session. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we come to the end of the pre-curtain raising of INBUSH World Summit 2026. What a marvelous start it is. Stay tuned with us because from tomorrow, our INBUSH is in the air already. The stage is set, the audience is ready, the galaxy has applauded, and there comes the AI with human touch. So ladies and gentlemen, make all the social media viral and be a part of this great cohort. Without you, without human touch, no AI can make a difference for tomorrow. So humans, bring that human synergy, the power, the saga. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the IT team, to the entire Amity faculty members, to IAD, to GVC Sir's office, to the entire crew, to the entire students who are coordinating the social media market students, everybody, and the host of the audience here who has made the great environment set for the 3 days for INBUSH. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, IT team. Thank you, Founder President, sir. Thank you, Chancellors. Thank you, all the stalwarts of Amity University. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day forward. Now, there is another very, very stimulating session which is going to take place. This session is about the preparedness for future, the readiness for tomorrow, the synergy to give you an understanding how the internationalization of education is moving its glass doors. The session is well designed and curated to bring the knowledge by the eminent presentation by Priyank Chabra. She's going to talk about, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. All the students kindly be seated. The faculty members, please ensure that the students are seated. Close the door, please. Dear students, this is a session which is very much designed for each one of you.
Students, there's a presentation. Please sit down.
Everybody, please settle down. You will love this session because it's on special demand of students. This session has been designed. Please be seated. All the students kindly be seated. Faculty members requested to kindly ensure that students are seated quickly. All students quickly settle down.